Thanks, folks. Appreciate you being here. Let me make a deposit here while I'm here. I'm grateful to be asked to come over here. Like they said, we're across the river here. I'm looking around out here, and I'm seeing a lot of pages. There's folks that aren't here today. Maybe they're too timid. Maybe they're just they need a little shove. But folks like you that are here today, willing to get involved in this country and bring it back to where it ought to be, you need to give yourselves a round of applause. And all 10 of those amendments are there for a purpose. You know, we can think about, we can talk about money, we can talk about a lot of issues, but I got to tell you, freedom and liberty has got a value that most folks, I don't think, understand what its worth is. You know, there's a principle called diamond water. You know, if a person were stranded without water, their tongue swelling from thirst, I don't believe they would be begging for diamonds, would they? Would be begging for water. They would know what is important at that time. And that's sort of like this freedom and liberty that we see slipping away. It's not even slipping away, it's being taken away from us every day. So in 1999, when Bill Clinton was starting on gun control, every night we was getting worked over. Every single night they was beating up gun owners. Anybody that enjoyed firearms was made out to be a criminal. I remember it very clearly. So on a cold January morning, me and 7 other guys, we met up at one of the local gun shops over there in Evansville, and we was wanting to do something. We was aggravated, just like everybody is right now. We was frustrated. We wanted to do something, but we didn't know what. Well, one of the guys suggested that we get in a parade. And I thought, well, what's that going to do, you know? But all the guys thought that'd be neat, you know, get into one of the local parades, and so we did. I got us a application for the Freedom Festival parade over in Evansville. You guys know it. That's a big parade. So we had this little homemade trailer. We dolled it all up, red, white, and blue, and the flags on it. The NRA sent us some banners. We had the wives and the kids. We were looking good. We was all ready to go. Well, that day it was overcast, a little cloudy. There was a thunderclap, and they canceled the parade. We couldn't believe it. We was all ready. We had this thing ready to go. Well, somebody said, let's go anyway. So we did. We went down the parade route. And there was people lined up along the street. They didn't know the parade was canceled. And here's one lone single float coming down the streets. And they was asking, where's the rest of them at? We said, this is it, folks. You know, and the people was cheering us. They seen gun owners. And you got to understand, this is in the atmosphere of the media doing a bang-up job of making us look like criminals. And they was cheering at us and thumbs up, and we felt real good. They felt good. And it gave us some enthusiasm. We felt, well, you know what? We accomplished something that day. We did something. And I kind of thought that was probably it. You know, you turn off lights and go home. But the guys want to keep going. So we started having regular meetings. And our group started out, if we had 20 people at a meeting, we had a crowd. Today, I think we run over 200 people at a meeting. So last Saturday, like you, just folks gathered around. In 2000, at that time, for a gun dealer to do the transfer on a firearm, he had to call the state police. The state police had sent letters out to all of the gun dealers throughout Indiana, all FFL dealers. No longer were they going to do background checks on weekends and holidays. That was effectively going to shut down gun shows. We knew what they were doing. Just so happened that letter came out. I had a copy. The gun dealer showed me a copy he got. Bold print, very intimidating letters. They were no longer going to conduct these background checks on weekends and holidays. I instructed our group, come Monday morning, you call the governor's office. And so we let the lines up. And about an hour later, my phone rang, and it was from the state police. I didn't call them, I called the governor's office. Because when I called the governor's office, the woman up there said, well, ma'am, sir, you need to call the state police. I said, no. This is the governor's baby, and he's going to rock this one. So she took my information. An hour later, the state police called my house and said that they were looking at resolutions to this thing. I said, well, there's a lot of them out there. We can give you some. About 30 minutes later, the Indiana State Police Superintendent called me. And I asked him, I said, why are you calling me? He said, because what's happened? I said, I didn't call your office. He said, I know, but we got your number. He said, what's happened here? You guys are calling the governor's office, and nothing you've heard anywhere else in the state where you've been selling this program. So that, he went in, and that night we had a lady that was 84 years old. She did I let her go first because she had something she wanted to read. She was supposed to read it at the Tea Party last year, and they didn't let her do it. But it was her perspective, what she has seen in America in her 84 years of life. Everything she's seen, the changes that have come about. And she was reading her presentation. I was watching this B&B commissioner, He looked like a kid in grade school watching the teacher. He was locked on every word she was saying. When he got done, he did his presentation, his PowerPoint. When he walked out, he said, Jim, he took questions, he took statements, and our people talk from the heart, just like you guys do. We shot him straight. It was respectful, it was courteous, but it was in no uncertain terms. We don't want big brother government breathing down our back. We don't need a key stuck in our back and wind us up. We can spoon feed ourselves. So when he got done, he came in and he said, Jim, you know, he said, we're gonna do some thinking on this. And about 2 weeks later, we met the Secretary of Treasury, Richard Murdoch, over in Indiana. He told me and my wife Margie that he had met Miller in the hallway a couple weeks ago. Miller told him, says, don't tell Jim Toms this until we do a public announcement, but because of the meeting I had with the Patriots, we've decided to withdraw that proposal. You see, the fact that's right, and you guys can do it too, that's right. The power we have. It's in our grips. Now we're coming up on an election cycle, folks. I got to tell you, we can't just click our heels and close our eyes and hope somebody's going to make something happen. If you want it, it's going to have to be you to do it. If freedom is enough, you reach out and take it. You get it back. That's right. That's how it comes to you. Don't hold long and wait for somebody to come and bring it to you. That ain't going to happen. More than likely, they're going to keep taking it away. We're going to make a stand. We're not doing nothing wrong. We're Americans. We're citizens. We pay this health care, telling you, you will do. What? In America, what we will do? Remember a time when you had the option of wearing a seat belt or not? Do you remember riding in the back of Dad's pickup truck? Anybody ever ride in the back of Dad's pickup truck? Let's see your hands. Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it? Today, Dad would go to jail and the kids go to child custody services. Child endangerment. We're on the verge of them telling us what we can eat. It doesn't stop. So we're going to have to make our own stand, and I do believe it's at the state level. I think you got some good people running for office here. Look them over. Check these folks out. Make sure you vote smart and vote right. Let's stack the deck in our favor. And the next time you have a gathering like this, bring your neighbors and your families. Hustle them down here. They need to be here too. Those are the ones, the timid ones I talk about. Bring them on board. Let them see that, you know, it's okay to show a little backbone. It's fine. You got it right. You got something to say, say it. That's what I do. And I'm going to keep saying it. I'll close with this, folks. Thank you. What we're dealing with is man-made mess. There's no two ways about it. Mankind has muddied this thing up something serious. If we're going to get out of this thing, we're going to have to ask for God's blessing. Now, we got to understand, we've run God out of our schools. We told him we don't want his manger seen on our courthouse lawns anymore. That's offensive. We don't want the Ten Commandments because that could warp our kids' mind. Yet every time something bad happens, you'll find somebody sticking a window sign in their car, God bless America. I'm thinking, how do you think that works? He's just there on demand? Just when you really need him? That's when... No, we're going to have to ask God to forgive our country. Forgive us. You go to church on Sunday, you pray, you ask God to help us, and you ask God to help the people stepping out, running for office. And make sure they're the right kind of people that will not back down. Over here in Indiana, I got a primary to deal with. The people that's running against me and a lot of these people, they won't talk about moral issues. They won't talk about anything like that. They won't get within 10 miles of it. I'm here to tell you, I'm going to speak about it. I'm going to keep talking about it. I'm going to wear it out. It's our moment. So I'm asking you guys over here, on this side of the river, you do what you got to do over here too, okay? We pray to God, we ask God, God will pull us out of this thing, but it's going to come down on us too. We got to share a little of the load. And I'll close with this. On the back of my card, I give a couple people my card. On the back of it, I got a quote. God will bless or curse this nation according to the course Christians take in politics. That was by Charles Finney. Some of you may know who that was. That gentleman was a preacher. I need to say, I guess I don't want to run too long here, but I do appreciate you inviting me over here. I enjoyed it. I used to drive a truck, and this was my route, Henderson. I might have more time over here as a citizen than you guys do. I don't know.